Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to bring you another high ELO ranked game. My name is Desifresh, and I will be your caster today. Let's get this underway. We have Speciality on Skarner. We have Zeus on Blitzcrank, Pony Rides playing Tristana, Meat Eaters on Xerath, and Dotasaurus going to be playing Warwick. Meanwhile, on the purple team, we're going to get Otek on Orianna, Forgiven Bow on Jarvan, Pyroan on Maokai, Shuvi on Vayne, and PCS or better on Leona. So, let's get this underway. Press and play. Vayne's Shuvi's going to be starting a long sword in 3 pots. That's not something you actually see pretty often. You usually see AD carries get Adorans instead. It's a lot more efficient. You'll get the extra health. You'll have the lifesteal. But however, because she got the longsword, she's gonna get through 2 extra pots than her lane opponent. So if she does come into an unfavorable trade against that Tristana, which is most likely going to happen because of Tristana's powerful early game advantage with the explosive shot, that's going to help her stay in lane a bit longer. So it could be a pretty good pick. Meanwhile, pretty standard stuff all around. Skarner setting up a defensive position that ward would spot out any invade onto his blue buff. Looks like no wards anywhere on the bottom side of the map.
Minions have spawned.
Looks like they did put 1 ward down there, so if there was a delayed invade from Skarner, it could spot him out. It could spot them out. But otherwise, it looks as though nothing too big is going to happen. Zeus just showing himself, trying to get vision. Is he going to try and throw it away? He does grab Jarvan, but not too much is going to happen from that. There's really no. He really didn't get any help from his team, so I doubt he would have tried to engage upon that. And Leona, she hasn't started a skill yet, so it doesn't feel as though they were confident on going onto the Zeus. So Shuvi, he's already at his blue buff. It looks as he didn't take the Wolf Wraith camp, so he's gonna be a bit faster. But he won't hit level 3. Yeah, he won't hit level 3. He might use that to go to the white camp, or he's actually going to go for a level 2 gang in the top lane. That's not something you see very often. Walking around, going for the golem camp. I see what's happening. After taking the blue buff, he's going to go just take away some extra experience from Jarvan. It looks as now he's just invading the camps. Okay, so he didn't clear golems, and he's going to be taking that race. Meanwhile, the top lane though, Forgiven Bow was ganking top lane. He got an EQ combo onto Warwick, and they did manage to pick up a kill. Let's hope that Skarner's decisions worked out for his team. Forgiven Bow, he spots out Speciality. He knows they're there. Forgiven Bow, he's spotted out by the ward. Looks as though Meat Eater, pretty dangerous position, but Otek's not in any position to help with that gank. Meanwhile, in that bottom lane, Pony Ride putting the pressure down onto Shuvi and PCS or better. It's so hard for Vayne to push against Tristana. Vayne has little to no pushing power. She has no AoE abilities. There it is, Leona jumping straight in on Tristana, and teleport by Maokai is there. He does complete the teleport, but they're not able to lock down anyone. So that is a teleport used by the Maokai, and This is just going to allow Warwick to get a lot of extra experience in the top lane. It can turn out better for him. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Skarner was there to try and invade on the Jarvan, but it didn't work out for him. Jarvan was managed to catch him out. Let's actually see what happened over there. Looks like there's that thing in the bottom lane. Looks like speciality. He revealed himself too early. He did not anticipate Jarvan being there. And for Given Bow, he has the advantage. There it is. The EQ combo manages to knock him up long enough and to take the last hit on Skarner. That was really unfortunate for speciality. If he hadn't revealed himself, he probably could have gotten the advantage onto Jarvan, but because he used his spike to preemptively to try and aggro the wolves, that alerted Jarvan to his presence, and that essentially killed him because he needed that extra bit of surprise if he had managed to kill him. They were both so low, and Jarvan didn't have his EQ combo up. So, in that top lane, Dotasaur taking advantage of the Maokai's teleport. He did get up a bit. He has levels on him. Yep. Pyrion just hit level 5. Dotasaur's like a little under halfway to 6. Wards are going to catch out Skarner, just warding around in the jungle, just trying to get vision. And now Otek. He's trying to push against his Xerath. The auto attack's going down. Oh, Forgiven Bow looking to gank the bottom lane. He is behind them. Zeus knocking them up. Will they be able to get the EQ combo? The flash from Zeus is there. He flashes into the tower. Now, Pony Ride gets locked down. Vayne hits a very nice condemn to stun her up, and they just melted her. So look, what actually really happened down there is like Zeus timed his flash so perfectly. Oh, looks like Zeus stayed a bit too long. Forgiven Bow trying to get the last auto attack. The slow is not enough. Zeus misses the grab. Where was that even going? Dotasaur, they were both level 6 in the top lane, but Warwick is pushed against his tower. He will be able to heal up with his auto attacks and his Q. So he's not too scared, and if Maokai decided to jump in, he has his ultimate to lock him down. But what really happened in that bottom lane is what Blitzcrank, he timed his flash so perfectly, waiting for Jarvan to use the EQ combo and then flashing out of it. Unfortunately, that was merely a distraction. He threw the grab out, hooking Jarvan under tower. Jarvan had his flash off, so he was able to get out of that situation. Meanwhile, Vayne, they immediately went for the Tristana the moment after Blitzcrank flashed away, and she didn't have her jump. And what's really unfortunate too was that she jumped closer to the wall. Looks like Orianna is there. Orianna is, well, she is there. This is the mid lane, but Meat Eater gets a very nice long range Q, taking the kill. I meant that Jarvan is there to get a gank off. Xerath does flash out of the combo, avoiding the knockup. Maokai, ping's going down. They want to go for this blue buff. Wards are going to spot them out though. Warwick, he is there. He's going to try and help his team out. There is a ward spotting them out. Ultimate from Xerath going down, using the siege. Pyroan is there in the middle of the team. Speciality is so low. Dotasaur locking down the Maokai before he can pick up the kill on the Skarner, and he picks up the kill. Now Dotasaur chasing Forgiven Bow. That is a double kill for Jarvan. What was Skarner thinking? He was so low. The Q and the auto attack from Jarvan was able to pick up the kill onto Skarner. Meanwhile though, Dodosaur was able to pick up the kill. There was no reason for Skarner to actually be anywhere near there. The speed up from Warwick's passive would have been enough to pick up the kill. Orianna, she just got back to that lane. There was no way she could have helped. That was a huge misplay by Speciality. And now Orianna just gonna try and take away the Wraith Camp. Xerath gonna get the slow. Will he be able to get the stun? Orianna has to flash out of it. That would have been a dead Orianna. That stun would have been long enough for Speciality to get in there, get the Impale, and that would have been the death of Orianna. Now Dodosaur has double buffs. He's fighting Pyroan. It's so surprising though, Dodosaur is still under leveled despite Pyroan roaming a lot more than this Warwick. He's still down in levels, and it's really unfortunate for him too. The positive side of that though is it's really difficult to push a Warwick out of lane. So he doesn't have to worry too much from ganks, but now that he doesn't have his tower anymore, he's pushing really aggressively without any wards. There goes the flash grab on. There goes the grab onto Vayne, but they're able to escape. And now Pony Ride is there. He takes so much damage. Teleport from Warwick is there. Is he able to get on? He jumps onto Shubi. She's taking solo. Dodosaur picks up the kill. Now they're fighting. Speciality has the Impale onto the Maokai, but Dodosaur is not. He can't do enough damage. That was a double teleport by both top laners there, and that instantly turned the tide of the fight. Both AD carries fell, and there goes a long range Zenith Blade onto Zeus, but Zeus is the oh my god, PCS or better cannot get the last hit onto Zeus. The knockup from Zeus was long enough for him to walk out of auto attack range of Leona, and since she was under tower, she couldn't continue chasing. Pyroan, he fell to the I believe it was the Xerath or the Warwick. It looks as though it was the Warwick. That fight was so extended that Meteor had enough time to roll into about halfway in the middle of the jungle, set up his ultimate, hit all 3 of the charges, and he was still able to get back to that lane without Orianna taking anything else. They really do have to watch out for the Xerath's ultimate presence, because Xerath is able to get in range a lot faster than Orianna is able to walk down all the way to a different lane. So they really have to make sure that they always know, despite it looking like a 3v3 or a 2v2, it could immediately turn into a 3v2 just with the Xerath ultimate. Looks like Warwick's gonna go for. He picks up a Chalice of Harmony. It's going to be AP. Oh, Zeus getting hit by a Zenith Blade, and they're locking him down. He doesn't have his flash up, so this kill is gonna go to the Leona. It doesn't look as though they wanted to give it to Jarvan. Maokai finishing up his Rod of Ages. Finished about 2 minutes ago. Dodosaur finished after the Chalice of Harmony. He looks as though it's gonna turn that into a Wit's End. Meanwhile, Xerath using his Arcane Barrage on right of the Arcane. I guess it's not Arcane Barrage anymore. What Arcane Barrage is Ezreal. It's unfortunate for me. Looks like Skarner getting caught out by the Maokai. But Maokai, is he able to fight him? The Impale is there, but it's not enough. Look, we have to remember. He has to remember. The more spells he uses, the more Maokai will be able to heal. Luckily, his team was able to assist him, and Warwick is going to graciously give that kill over to Xerath. Warwick already has 5 kills. He's like, you know what? Let's give some kills to Xerath. It's so difficult to deal with the Xerath already. Let's make it even harder for them. Both junglers finished their Spirit of the Elder Lizards. Jarvan does have his Second boots already. Looks like he's there to gank the bot lane again. And Zeus doesn't have his ultimate. Not ultimate. He doesn't have his flash yet. Still, so they are just punishing Zeus over and over again. They're happy if they don't kill Tristana. By killing the Blitzcrank over and over again, it just allows them to punish her even more. She won't be able to stand lane. And now for Given Bow, he falls to try and take out those wards. A bit greedy and without any vision. Shuvi and PCS are better. Try to take down the tower. Skarner roaming to the bottom. But they're too fast. They will not be able to get in. Even if he did use his exoskeleton, Vayne would just be able to condemn him away. Oh, looks like Leona wants to jump in onto Speciality. Orianna is there. There's the ultimate locking him down. Speciality in a pretty dangerous situation. He's forced to flash over the wall. Zeus, is he able to get it? There's a long range ball travel from Orianna, and she hits it right where he was standing. That was a huge travel time for Orianna ball, and it still hit the Speciality. And now, looks like there's a ward fight going on there. Vayne not able to get the hit lockdown on Tristana. Shuvi flashing away, but he gets taken out by Pony Ride. It's really unfortunate. There's a flash from the Leona ultimate, not wanting to get locked down. They know the power of Jarvan. Jarvan is easily able to burst down a Tristana. Zenith's Blade missing, but now looks. Oh, Maokai cancels the teleport, and Dotasaur locks down the Maokai underneath the tower. He's taking so much damage, and that is going to go over to the Warwick. There was nowhere for Maokai to run. That is actually interesting. It seems as though towers are invisible on my minimap. That is actually really funny. It's actually really unfortunate too. Yep. Looks as though this is the only tower that's available for the purple team. Let's get over to those items. Looks as though after finishing the Elder Lizard, Skarner's starting up on a Sheen. That could turn into an Iceborne Gauntlet. It's most likely an Iceborne Gauntlet, but we do see some Skarners get Infinity, not Infinity, as Triforce. That was pre rework though. That was actually during his release, before Iceborne Gauntlet. That's most likely an Iceborne Gauntlet. Xerath, after getting the Morellonomicon, named after our Lord and Savior, Morello, he's gonna pick up a needlessly large rod, and Orianna still has the Athene's Unholy Grail. She's sitting on 1800. Will she go back and pick up her own needlessly large rod? Meanwhile, the AD carries. Tristana picks up her Infinity Edge first, while Vayne gets the Blade of the Ruined King. And as for the supports, Leona getting the Face of the Mountain, just rushing that after her Sightstone. And now, PCS or better comes down onto Dotasaur. This is a 3v1 gank. He is not getting away. Xerath trying his best to help his ally, but now, will he be locked down? There's a ultimate by Leona, locking down the Xerath. Will he be able to get the kill? Leona was taking the tower, but then the Maokai was. Speciality picking up the first kill, picks up the second kill. Now Leona, she doesn't have flash. Skarner has the slow from the red buff. He will be able to get the kill. There's nowhere for her to run. So this is actually going to be a triple kill for Skarner. But Orianna is there. That's the third kill. But Orianna finally comes to help her team and stopping the killing spree of Skarner.
destroyed.
Meanwhile, while all that was happening, Tristana and Blitzcrank managed to pick up a kill onto Vayne and Leona, and they pushed down to the second tower. Pretty heavy stuff, guys. Ping's going down onto Dragon. Ward is gonna start out the Jarvan. They do see him. They revealed that there were wards by Xerath. Preemptively using the Q revealed that they actually have a ward on it. Just showing the Jarvan like, hey, we know you're there. Leona. She already used her sweeper, but the sweeper stayed up long enough for her to take out that ward. Ward's going down in the Dragon Pit. They do not want the teams to sneak them. Looks like Maokai doesn't have his teleport up. So if fight breaks out right now, it could prove really disastrous. And something that we both should know, something that we all should know, both of these top laners have some form of ability to stop a teleport. Looks like Orianna falls to Tristana. Let's see how that actually happened. Looks like, oh, the impale from Skarner managed to pick up the kill, so that's really unfortunate for her. They have to watch out. Skarner's exoskeleton does give him a speed buff now. Or it does not. It does not. Yes, it does. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, looks like Blitzcrank and Xerath managed to catch out Vayne. She is pretty low. Zeus still on the assault, and there's a nice hook onto Vayne. The flash is not enough because of the auto attack. Was able to pick up the kill, and that's 2 champions dead for the purple team, and that's going to allow blue team to take the dragon, which they do. And now Leona in a pretty bad situation. The auto attacks by Tristana are doing so much damage, but now they lock down Tristana. Xerath was able to pick up 2 kills with his Q, and now Maokai, using the teleport, is trying to make best of a bad situation. Tristana is in the back line doing so much damage, and now Tristana, she's there. Dodosaur tanking the tower. He's not able to make the kill. He doesn't have his ultimate up. Vayne, a fresh Vayne, is going to try and stop the push. They do, though. They probably could have continued pushing, especially with Blitzcrank having the grab. There's really no way for them to not continue pushing. With it was only Orianna and the Vayne up. Orianna was extremely low already, and with Tristana's range, there's really no way for her to be caught out against like those 2 champions. I guess they want to play it a little bit safer. Xerath just trying to put a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, sir, this is not Heroes of the Storm. Your abilities cannot damage towers. Looks like Warwick, even though he took down a turret, he's going to pay for it with his life. The ultimate goes down to try and stay up as long as possible, providing his team a bit of extra distraction. That's 2 members in the top lane. Blue team, they need to take advantage of this. This is only 3 members in that mid lane. They need to take advantage of this. Skarner is going around. He's gonna try and flank them. Ping is going down. Orianna gets grabbed by Blitzcrank, and she is melted. And now, look at Tristana. No hesitation. She'll jump straight in to help the team. The barrage by Xerath is helping his team. They do manage to pick up a kill onto Leona. They're going to take the first tower. Here comes the second tower. Maokai trying his best, making the most of a bad situation. He pushes down that top lane to try and increase the experience that Warwick misses. But because of that, he's going to be late to the party. Blue team, they're just pushing down. That's 3 towers and an inhibitor off of that really poor judgment from purple team. They sent 2 members just to stop the Warwick, when they could have only sent 1. It was too late for that tower to be saved, and so because of that, there was no reason for 2 members to go in there when it was clear a fight could have broken out at any moment for that extremely low middle tower. And now Jarvan getting caught out. He wanted that red buff, but he goes in a little bit too far. And now Jarvan gets a really nice cataclysm onto the Xerath, locking him down. Speciality, he tried to provide a distraction. Tristana and Blitzcrank didn't make use of that distraction, and now they're caught out again. Dotasaur, he's getting caught out. And just look, Vayne, she's only down to half health. She was barely touched that entire fight. Xerath was the only person that actually did damage to that Vayne. And the thing is, they were a little bit too greedy. They decided to go for the red buff even though they knew everyone was already up. There was no reason for them to actually go for that. They should have gone back immediately and prepared for the Baron that they were clearly going to answer with. And now Zeus, he also falls as well. So that's 5 kills for the purple team. For the purple team, when it should have only been 0. There was no reason for a blue team to actually continue staying, to take anything. They took 3 towers and an inhibitor. They were extremely well off, and that gold lead was completely in their favor. But they threw it by just continuing to stay and try and take the jungle camp. The jungle camps, they're worth about, what, 500, 600 gold? When they just threw a couple thousand gold lead. Huh. So, Warwick, after getting the Wit's End, buys a Spirit Visage. That's a pretty good pickup, especially with Maokai and Orianna doing so much ability power damage. Vayne, she hasn't ramped up just yet. She does hurt quite a bit, but Warwick's self-healing should be enough to deal with that. He does have the chain vest in his inventory, so that could be built into maybe a Randuin's. Meanwhile, after finishing up the Iceborne Gauntlet by Skarner, he picks up a Locket of the Iron Solari. That's actually not something you see at all anymore. It's one of those items that kind of fell out of favor with its nerfs. Before in season 3, that was actually a must buy for all junglers. But with the additions of the spirit items, it did fall out. Blitzcrank not gonna hit anyone. Meanwhile, Jarvan, his counterpart, after getting his boots, he picks up a Thornmail, and that's actually a huge pick because Tristana is just going to be doing so much damage. That's actually a pretty good pickup. Tristana doesn't have any lifesteal yet. So whatever damage she does, part of that damage is going to be dealt straight back at her, and without any lifesteal to heal her back up, besides that 3% from Doran's Blade, she's going to have to be pretty picky on when she actually hits that Jarvan. Otherwise, we could just see Tristana constantly auto-attack her, and Jarvan, after not dying yet, he'll jump straight on Tristana, and she'll wonder, how did she do so much damage? He'll look at Jarvan's items, and then she'll realize, wait a minute, he has Stormmail, and I was doing damage to myself. So the needlessly large rod of Xerath is going to be turned into a Rabadon's Death Cap. He picks up a Void Staff after, and he's working on a Zanya's Hourglass with the Seeker's Arm Guard. Meanwhile, Orianna, after her Athenes, she does get her own Death Cap and Void Staff. We'll have to see what she picks up as her second item. It could definitely be a Zanya's with the threat of Blitzcrank. If she does manage to get a grab on someone, she can immediately hit the Zanya's while the travel has ended. And in that small time frame between the hook and the knockup, she'll be able to Zanya's. They won't be able to do anything to her, and her team can answer to help her. After the Infinity Edge and Static Shift of Tristana, she's working on what looks to be a Bloodthirster. Meanwhile, Vayne, after her Phantom Dancer, finishes her last Whisper. That's a good pickup. It's a preemptive pickup. They're going to be having so much armor with the Skarner, the Warwick, and the Blitzcrank. That's a really good. Jarvan he catches out two members, gets the knockup onto Xerath. He gets locked down by the Leona stun, and he's taking so much damage. He's taken down, and Vayne just doing so much damage. Tristana tried to get the kills on the Vayne, but she wasn't able to, and she was forced to jump straight out. And now the EQ combo trying to get the knockup, but she flashes away. Unfortunately, her jump is not going to be up for another 2 seconds. Jarvan, his EQ combo is up. Will she be able to jump away? She is. And Warwick, he's not going to be able to help the team. That tower is going to go down. They're going to try and continue pushing off that one. He stayed. Yeah, he doesn't have the attack speed or the attack damage to be pushing. He only has 116 AD, so he's not going to be taking down towers fairly quickly. His passive, oh, that's really sneaky. Vayne's passive is allowing Warwick to get away. The Vayne's health is allowing Warwick to get away. He does get Modus move speed when there is a low enemy nearby. They don't want to chase too far. It's just a smart pick. They're learning from Blue Team's mistakes. They know we shouldn't extend too far. We took kills. We took their tower. Let's take it. Warwick wasn't able to take inhibitor. We're gonna use that. We're gonna reset. We're gonna heal up. Baron's up in a minute. Let's go congregate for that. Ping's going down towards the red team red buff. Vayne's gonna be taking that. That's going to allow her to kite the Skarner, the Blitzcrank, and the Warwick. Tristana finishing up that Bloodthirster, and looks like Leona actually picks up a Frozen Heart. That's actually extremely efficient for her. Tristana, Warwick, they both have, and Tristana, Warwick, and Skarner, all three of them have attack speed buffs, and that Frozen Heart is going to allow the Leona to essentially, like, it's going to reduce the attack speed buffs without them having to attack her, like what we see that's what the Randuin's does, but that forces the only way the attack speed reduction is applied on Randuin's is if they attack her. The Frozen Heart is going to just allow her to be there and reduce their attack speed preemptively. She doesn't have to worry if they attack her or not. She can stay near the Vayne, and she's still guaranteed to lower the attack speed of these buffs. Looks like Jarvan goes straight in without his team going in 1v3. They don't try to punish him for that. They do just back straight off. They didn't have any vision of the red team. For all they knew, red team was waiting for them to jump straight in on Jarvan so they could clean up some kills. And now Jarvan is extremely low. Warwick trying to get the Hungering Strike off, but there's a fight. Orianna ultimate hits down 3 people. Warwick locking down the Vayne, but she does not care. Warwick is just not doing enough damage to make a threat. Looks like pings going down. Orianna gets caught out by the Blitzcrank, but like I said, Warwick is just not doing the damage to actually pose a threat to these champions. Warwick gonna try to make the most. At first he went for the inhibitor, but he flashes over the wall. Is he able to get away? No, he is not. The red buff from Orianna is able to get him the kill. That is really unfortunate. Vayne has gotten to the point where she's just going to be melting these people one after another. And the thing is, the fact that Warwick didn't build any damage besides the Wit's End, he's just not posing a threat to these carries. He was on Vayne that entire fight. He got a full channeled ultimate off. he got auto attacks one after another onto the Vayne, and she was only taken down to half health. Like, that's just not something you want to see for your top laner. And if he can't pose a threat to her, then there's no way for her to act. Like, there's no way for blue team to actually win these fights. Because the thing is, Maokai, he's always in the middle of the team. He's reducing the damage that his team takes, and he's just dealing so much damage in return. Like, he's actually relevant in these team fights. Warwick, sure, he's locking down Vayne, but the thing is, his team is not helping him. Blitzcrank, after a full channel, she still wasn't able to get a grab onto Vayne, to pull her into the middle of the team. Now, like, oh, looks like a nice long-range grab onto the Maokai. They do get him locked down under tower, but heals are trying to save him. Looks like Tristana getting the resets one after another, picks up one kill, gets an ultimate off, and that's going to allow her, allow the Leon to escape. Meat Eater picks up the kill. You can't get away from Xerath. A bit of a questionable play. If that had been a champion with a form of escape, that would have been really bad. Otek bursts down the Blitzcrank, and now they're fighting Tristana. Tristana, she has a ward in there, so she has vision, but the range is not long enough. And now this is a 2v1 for the Orianna. She picks up the first kill, and Otek. This is the damage of Orianna. She was able to 2v1. She was able to 2v1 the Blitzcrank and the Tristana. Then she was able to 2v1 the Xerath and Tristana, and she picks up 2 kills from that. Maokai gets a very nice teleport off. Gonna kill the Xerath. Dodosaur and Skarner are there to try and kill the Maokai, but he's just so tanky. Look, pings to go back or have gone down. They're trying to fight him, but look at him. They just can't kill him, and the rest of the red team, they're there. They're gonna try and kill him now. EQ combo is not enough. Skarner, he doesn't have his flash, so he's going to follow this. Vayne and Leona are there. They give the kill. They give the kill to Maokai, and it's just like, you go to fight this huge tank, and then you expect him to kill. You expect to kill him before his team can actually help. Like, it just doesn't work like that. This guy has a Rod of Ages. He has an Iceborne Gauntlet. He has a Frozen Heart, and he has Spirit Visage. You're not going to kill him, especially when every time you use your spells, that's a little bit extra heal for him. And it's just so difficult to kill this guy. And they should have left the moment they knew that they weren't doing enough damage. There goes Maokai straight onto Xerath, locking him down. Flash by Xerath is there. Looks as though Dodosaur, he knocks away the Vayne from the fight, and Pyroan is still in this fight. Xerath picks up the first kill onto Jarvan, Warwick picks up the kill onto Maokai. Yeah, red team right there was extremely split up. Xerath hitting the ultimate onto Vayne, picks up the kill. Leona, too tanky to continue chasing, especially without the help of the rest of the team. Yeah, like, what really happened right there was that tower was still there. That tower was it can be considered a threat. You can't just expect the Vayne and the Leona to walk through that tower. It just doesn't happen. And when you have two people with jumps, like the Maokai and the Jarvan, just jumping halfway across the base, across the wall, and halfway in the middle of the base, and those two are fighting, you can't expect the rest of your team, who have no form of travel, to assist you, especially with no safe way to enter. So a bit of a misguided play by the Jarvan and the Maokai. But I don't even want to say it worked out for them. They were not able to pick up anything. So as it is, this game at 40 minutes, it's fairly close. The gold lead is about 3,500. Like at this point in the game, anyone can win. Both of these teams have a pretty strong pretty strong carries. So Sana and Vayne, the two hyper carries, and the Xerath and the Orianna, those two are going to be like the huge burst damage dealers. The Skarner and the Warwick, they're going to be the disruptors, along with the Maokai and the Jarvan. And the Blitzcrank, Skarner, and Warwick, and Leona, Maokai, and Jarvan. They'll be there to just disrupt the team. They're not there for the damage. None of these champions have actually built any form of damage besides the Vayne and the Tristana and the Orianna and the Xerath. And Jarvan jumps straight into the middle of the team, and he gets taken down by so much. Dotasaur in a bad position, and look at Vayne. She hasn't been touched the entire fight. Sure, the exhaust is on her, but she's not been touched. Leona, she's taken so low, the tower is going to pick up the kill. And now, she's finally touched. She's dodging the barrages by Xerath. Tristana, the long range, is able to pick up the kill. And now, Orianna and Jarvan are running for their lives. They haven't been spotted out. They're going to go back and try and push against this push. Baron is up in 10 seconds. Will they choose to continue pushing? They can take both. They can take the inhibitor, and they can take Baron. With 40-second death timers, I don't think they'll be able to continue pushing to Nexus, especially with Orianna being able to clear so fast. Look at the burst from Orianna. She's just bursting down someone that has this Aegis of the Legion. Like even with match resist, she's just able to burst down how much match resist does he have? 142 match resist, and he's just melted like a stick of butter. That was a really bad joke. I can't be freak. Jarvan, he's going to try and steal this Baron. Oh, he's not able to. Luckily for him, after using the EQ combo to try and steal it, he did have enough vision on Tristana to jump over the wall. So, people are finishing up their builds. Let's look at what people have right now. After finishing up the Randuins, Warwick finishes up that Blade of the Ruin King. So, he's actually going to be doing damage now. He's actually become a threat. Vayne's going to have to watch her back. Otherwise, if they don't watch out for the Warwick, he could easily pose a threat to Vayne and maybe even kill her if she's not able to get away. Meanwhile, Maokai, after the Iceborne Gauntlet, he's going to start on a Spectre's Call. That's definitely a Banshees in the making. For the Skarner, he's going to pick up his own Banshees. Jarvan, his Banshees as well. This is just a League of Banshees right here. Meanwhile, this is actually pretty... There it is, Orianna, another Banshees. Xerath not picking up a Banshees. Way to ruin the trend, Xerath. He's actually going to be... he actually picks a Leandri's Torment over Banshees. I guess he's not too worried about the lockdown from Red Team. He knows that as long as he keeps his range, he'll be somewhat safe. Meanwhile, Tristana, after picking up a Bloodthirsty, she finishes a Blade of the Ruin King and a Last Whisper. So she's just going to be healing for so much, and she's going to have enough, so much attack speed with her attack speed steroid and with the lifesteal and with the attack speed from Blade of the Ruin King. Meanwhile, Vayne, she picks up a Banshees because she's actually scared. Blitzcrank will be there to, she has to watch out for Blitzcrank, she has to watch out for Skarner, she has to watch out for the Xerath, and she has to watch out for doubly watch out for the Blitzcrank because he can turn the tide of a fight almost immediately. And there's a really nice ultimate on by Orianna onto Tristana and the Xerath, taking them down to half health. And now the fight has begun. Vayne doing so much damage to Skarner, getting him out of the fight. And now Dotasaur onto the Vayne. Unfortunately, the Xerath was a bit late on his ultimate, not using the snare from, not using the suppress from Warwick, not using it to its full extent. He did not hit the first ultimate onto Vayne, which is really unfortunate. That really could have turned the tide of that fight. Blue team though, after they took 2 kills with only Warwick going down for purple team, so they're confident enough to push down into this space. They take down the bottom inhibitor. They're trying to go for the top inhibitor. There's so many minions there, and Jarvan, he has to be careful, otherwise he could be caught out. Looks like there's the impale onto Jarvan. Will it be locked down? There. Oh, the Blitzcrank misses the hook. He has got to be hitting himself right there. That is really unfortunate. And Tristana jumps straight in under tower to try and pick up a kill onto Vayne. The crit is not in her favor, so she wasn't able to pick anything up. And now Tristana locked down by the slow flare from Leona. Warwick jumping in really hard, not going to get any assistance from his team, and this is just a really long team fight speciality taken out by the Vayne. And wow, Xerath picking up a kill on the Vayne. Unfortunately for the purple team, they have to take care of the base. They're going to have super minions coming. No, they only have super minions coming in from the bottom side. They did manage to save the top inhibitor, but the tower did fall. So that's 2 naked inhibitors and a dead inhibitor in the bottom. So they really do have to watch out. If they want, they're going to have to wait until that inhibitor spawns if they really want to do any more fighting. They can't just leave that inhibitor open. I really do expect that blue team, they're just gonna congregate again. They might try for a 1-4 split. They could send Warwick to the top lane. Oh yeah, they can send Warwick to the top lane, and if the majority of the purple team goes for the Warwick, Xerath will be able to assist him with Arcane Barrage, and even if he doesn't, with Tristana's attack speed, they'll easily be able to push down inhibitors. They could also go. Baron is up in a minute and a half, so purple team, they have to push. Purple team has to push out the bottom side a bit farther. With Baron's going to be up in a minute, at least until the halfway point. So by the time Baron is up, they'll be somewhat safe from the super minions. Blue team just in the middle lane, they're just trying to stall, waiting for the Warwick. They want to fight as 5. Ward right there is going to spot them out. Vayne, that's the best person to send. She'll be able to clear the wave. She'll be able to clear the super minions the fastest. Her or Orianna. The Maokai saplings just popping the banshees. It looks as though she is having a bit of trouble pushing. Well, no, I would not say she's having trouble. It's a smart play by letting the minion wave push a bit closer to the base. It's more of a safety measure than anything, because if she had pushed over here, then that could have allowed blue team to flank her. Even with the wards, she would not have been safe. And Skarner flashing into the middle of the red team, and the assistance by the red team is enough to save the Vayne. And now this is a fight that's definitely in favor of the red team. Skarner going in really ham without any assistance. Xerath is forced to flash away. There's a hook onto Orianna. They lock her down. The Vayne, she has GA. She doesn't have to worry about this Xerath. And now, red team, they're pushing down auto attack to try and get the kill. She was hoping for a crit. It was not able to hit. The RNG was not in her favor. And now, red team, they're going to be taking this dragon. That entire fight was dictated by the Skarner. He chose to jump in without any assistance. If we look back, the rest of his team was all here, waiting in the dragon pit. Skarner, he flashes in. Look where he died, and look where the rest of his team died. Like, that's such a huge gap. And the thing is, they were so far back. After he flashed in, there was no assistance whatsoever. They could not manage to like lock Vayne down. Even after getting the impale, he just was bursted so fast that there was no way for his team to respond. After taking down, so the inhibitor has spawned back up. That's going to allow them to play a lot more aggressively. They don't have to worry about super minions anymore. Purple team taking the dragon, but at this point in the game, it's pretty negligible. Almost everyone has full builds. Maokai, he just sold something. There it is. Instead, he changed his boots of speed into Ninja Tabby. So that's really going to help him survive against the Tristana. Jarvan, he's at full build with the Banshees. Warwick, he's at full build. He picks up a Thornmail actually. And so instead of a Banshees, he's going to sell that. Vayne, I would say that's a good pickup. They have enough CC. They have so much CC that a Banshees only stopping one of them won't be enough for him to get onto the Vayne. I guess Skarner, after he picks up a Thornmail as well. So that's 3 Thornmails. This is an item that's like you rarely ever see, and that's 3 of them in the same game. Or Xerath, he already finished his build as well as Orianna, Tristana, and Vayne. Tristana was at full build last we saw her. Vayne, after the couple fights ago, she picks up a Zephyr. So she doesn't have boots anymore. That's actually something that some AD carries like to do. Instead of just sitting on boots, you can sell your boots, get the Zephyr. Sure, you'll have a little bit extra move. You'll have a little bit extra move speed, but you'll get extra AD. You'll get extra attack speed. You get some CDR, and you'll also get tenacity, which is just huge. And it makes it worth losing like 10 move speed. It makes it worth it. So that's actually so Leona picks up an Iron Solari. So that's 2 Iron Solaris on both teams, and that's gonna provide a pretty hefty shield for the teams to get through. Oh, I just realized something. Something I just noticed. Blitzcrank doesn't have a support item, so he hasn't been getting passive gold. And like for someone that hasn't been getting extra gold, he's been doing fairly well in terms of keeping even in gold with Leona. She's only down 3,000. So, purple team, Maokai, he's going to come and assist this team now. This could be the last fight. Ping's going down for purple team. They're going to try and stop that wave from pushing in blue team's favor. Top is pushing. No pings have gone down yet. Tristana though. Tristana. I guess they will not go for that just yet. Ping's finally going down. Purple team, they want to push with that wave. They're trying to get even with that wave. They want those two waves to crash into towers at the same time. Unfortunately, Xerath, he's going to be there to clear it. They do go back. So this game is turned into a stalemate. Jarvan, he actually sold his Spirit of the Elder Lizard for a Warmogs. That's really good. That's going to allow him a little bit extra health, and the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, like, the thing is, he wasn't aiming for damage. He didn't need the damage, and it's good because with him getting the Warmogs over it, he's making use of an item space for like something that he didn't need before. If he had been building damage, maybe that Elder Lizard would have been good. But the thing is, he definitely he knows his role for this team. He knows that, hey, I don't need to be doing damage. Vayne needs to be doing the damage. I just need to be a tank. I need to peel for her. I need to survive in these fights. So let me get 1,000 health. Looks like a little bit of talk going on in the all chat. Xerath's asking for them to dive. Both teams have just been stalling. Baron is up in a minute. Maokai gonna just pushing down that bottom lane. No wards to spot out any form of flank, but he sensed it and he backed straight out. Looks like blue team, I don't think they have a they're going for Baron. They're setting it up. Maokai, he's going back. He won't be there in a fight if his team there. That teleport, it's still a 4-second travel time, and in that time a fight could easily have been decided. He does teleport really absolutely. He flashes in over, jumps straight onto the Blitzcrank instead of Tristana. Now Xerath is in a really bad position. He's so low. He's so scared of the Maokai. And meanwhile, in that fight, Vayne actually was not touched along with Orianna. And now, Tristana, she's not able to pick up anything. Looks like Leona's just going to be tanking this tower. Does not get the Zenith Blade off. Jarvan is pretty low. They're going to be taking down this first inhibitor, and they don't want to push their luck. With no minions, they really don't want to push. No, they don't want to continue pushing for the inhibitor. They could have easily pushed to the top. I don't think Tristan and Blitzcrank would have been able to stop that. They do go for the Baron, so that's going to be a lot of extra stats in their favor. So that will really prove useful in an upcoming fight. We might just see them push for win with the Baron buff. Vayne takes red buff. Jarvan, he just sold another item. He sold his boots. He had mobility before. What is he going to be picking up now? He picks up his own Ninja Tabby. So this is going to be huge. Tristana's damage is just weakening as this game goes on. So it's three Ninja Tabbies already on the red team. If we look, there's only one. Vayne, she's going to be hitting for near full. She's going to be hitting for a lot of extra damage. The Ninja Tabby, it reduces the basic attacks by 10%, and that's actually huge this late in the game. Looks like so they want the win. They're going to push without like having the lanes pushed together. Maokai, Jarvan, and Leona, they just missed the Blitzcrank grab. If they had been caught out by that, that would have been extremely detrimental for the red team. They're going to push down this first tower. It's taken down extremely quickly. This might be the fight to end it all. Xerath popping the Banshees. GA is up onto Vayne. Tristana doesn't have her own GA. She sells her Blade of the Ruined King and picks up her Mercurial Scimitar, so if she does get locked down, she will be able to get away. Super minions pushing down the mid lane. Tristana is there to try and kill him as fast as possible. Skarner just poking him down. Jarvan getting hooked by Blitzcrank. He's there. He gets the stun lock. Vayne putting down so much damage. The exhaust is on her. There goes this. He's taking so much damage. The Warwick onto the Vayne. Jarvan and behind the entire team. Xerath is so low. Vayne is tanking the tower. No, Orianna is tanking tower. Vayne trying to get the kill. That's one kill onto the Vayne. She picks up the first kill. And now they're trying to push down this tower. Xerath, Tristana, and Skarner are all still up. And now Tristana, these auto attacks are doing so much damage. Vayne and Tristana, they're trying to duel each other. Xerath knocks down the GA of the Vayne, and he picks up a double kill. And now Orianna, meanwhile, while this all is happening, she was trying to end the game. And this is a duel of the mids. There it is. Orianna trying to get the auto attack off. She doesn't. She flashes the Q, but it still hits her. The shield is on her. Will she be able to get the kill? The ultimate is there. Will she get it? The dissonance picks up the kill. And that is going to be win for the red team. Zanya just for a little bit of flair. That was a really intense match. I do apologize for my my team fights. It's not my strongest role play-by-play. But if you like what I do, please like the video. I also stream pretty often, so if you could please follow my stream, that'd be great, and like my Facebook, I'd really appreciate it. I do appreciate any criticism that you guys have to offer. I'll take it and I'll use it to improve what I do. Actually, that's all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.